You can tell Kenny's beside himself today.
Well, I've been in my room all day. It's so nice to get out.
Quick question.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. That was Kenny Rankin singing a little intro with, let me just do that again. Kenny Rankin, a little Bob Dylan intro to The Way You Look Tonight. You're listening to Joe Seeley's Duets on Jazz FM 91. I see we have a gentleman at the microphone who would like to ask a question. What's your name, please?
Don Campbell.
And your question.
You were on the Carson show a number of times. Tonight
Yeah,
Show.
about 25 to 30 times.
Are there any copies of that video?
No, but you know, I have a partner that I just got with, and we're going to look and go to the Carson archives and see if we can get something. I do have something that someone sent to me about one of the times I was on that show. I showed up with my son Chris on his 6th birthday. I was one of the things. I do have a video. Well, actually, a DVD. I mean, I'm really a Flintstone in the Jetsons world. You know, 8 tracks and stuff.
Well, everything's transferable these days. I don't know if you can go from DVD back to cassette, but there's
Well, who would want to?
Who would want to, exactly. Your musical style seems to lend itself both to jazz and sophisticated pop music. Would you call yourself a crossover artist?
No, I wouldn't call myself anything. I just like to continue, you know, with all the categories and the genres, and like, you know, then jazz became smooth jazz, soft jazz. I like to call myself like heavy mental. As a vocalist, I'm kind of heavy mental.
That's fair enough. I think that just about covers it. The gentleman made reference to Johnny Carson. That was about, well, I was going to ask you how many times you did this show, but it sounds like it was less than 100 and definitely more than 10.
Yeah.
Also, he did the liner notes for one of your albums, too?
He did, excuse me, he did the liner notes for my first album, Mind Dusters. And he never did that for anybody, so he really liked what I did. He was a you know, kind of a musician kind of guy. Very private man. I never got to speak with him other than sitting on the couch there. And that only happened, I think, once. Because they used to, when I was with Columbia, somebody sent Skitch Henderson out one of my demos, one of the recordings, and they said, well, we put them on. And at that time, the Tonight Show was going 15 minutes local in New York, and then the rest of the hour was national. And so they brought me down, just me and my guitar. And whenever someone either canceled at the last minute, or if there was, you know, any time, then I could get on the national part, you know, and sometimes that happened, and that was really helpful. So, I mean, you know, but the big rush for me, because I never felt like a real musician, because I didn't read, and I didn't have my card, and all that stuff. I was looking over the bandstand. You got Tommy Newsom, who just passed away, sadly enough, and then you got Doc Severinsen and Clark Terry, you know, all these guys going, yeah, you know, give me thumbs up, and man, I got goosebumps with that. That was, you know, Bobby Rosengarten on drums, Milt Hinton on the bass, and of course, Mr. Henderson conducting the band. It was a rush.
Oh, bad. Yeah. But you said that Johnny was a very private person, because one of the things that I was about to ask was, would you consider yourself friends in any way?
No. Just mutual admiration.
Oh, that's wonderful. That
Yeah, he was a
was,
very private man.
certainly a career like he had. I guess he'd have to preserve something of himself for himself, wouldn't he?
I guess some people do, you know, do that.
Yeah. Now, your songs have been covered by a great number of internationally known artists like Carmen McRae, Peggy Lee, and people like that. How does that make you feel when you hear one of your songs sung by some of the greats? Not that you're not great, but I mean, other greats.
Yeah, no, well, you know, what's in the name? When I first started writing songs, it's awesome. Well, to answer you immediately, it's awesome, but an experience that I had when I first started writing songs, I signed with a company, April Blackbird Music in New York City, and I got the whopping salary of $50 a week. And we had these little rooms that we'd write in. And the very first song that I ever wrote as a writer was another jazz waltz called In the Name of Love. And a week after I wrote it, I got the word that Peggy Lee was going to record it, and on top of that, named the album after the song. So I had the song, and that was a rush. And to button that up on the other end, 2 weeks ago, I got an email into my website. Hi, my name's Nikki Lee Foster. I'm Peggy's daughter, and you know, Mom was a big fan of you. so was mine. And I was just wondering, my mom had a lot of songs that she'd written that no one ever seen, so would you be interested in looking at them? I said, duh. She had a couple of CDs of some for work, and I saw the PBS special on her on TV not too long, which was awesome, and I had no idea. I thought she was just this hot babe, came out, sang these. She was more in charge of her music than anyone ever had any idea, and the recording of it, and the production of it, the whole deal. I mean, she was way ahead of her time in so many ways. And I was honored and humbled that she recorded one of my songs.
Just to backtrack a little, you said you wrote that song when you were working for a record company, or like, were you
No,
sort
the
of
publishing company.
A publishing company,
Yeah.
but as such, you kept your songwriting as well. I presume, I mean, you said she did your song and it was under your name. I mean, I've heard of these horror stories about writers and stables, you know, and everything goes under the company, publishing company name, which you're able to
Well,
keep
no,
part of
the
your
song was published for 28 years by April Blackbird Music.
Yeah.
Blackbird Music.
Yeah.
April was ASCAP, and Blackbird was BMI, and I was a BMI writer at the time, but I've since switched to ASCAP. But yeah, no, they hold it, and what happens, I mean, technically and legally, is when you sign a contract with a publishing company, after 28 years, the song, you can reclaim the rights to that song, but only for the United States and Canada. And the original publisher retains the work for the rest of the world. I had the good fortune of many years of recording for a little company in Los Angeles called Little David Records, which was owned by Monty Kaye and Flip Wilson. And Monty was also my manager, and he was also my co-publisher. So there was never any documentation as to the publishing. And what happened for me was a good thing, because since there was no instrument of publishing from between the writer and the publishing company, at the end of the 28 years, not only did I get my song back to the United States and Canada, but for the entire world. And these days, that's huge. So I'm very, very humbled with that.
Good, you've done well. How about doing another two?
Sure. Here's a only tune. Let me just pop the string. I love this song. It's been very good to me. I don't know other people.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you only wait for a small moment to rise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you're only waiting for a small moment to be free. Blackbird fly. Blackbird fly into the dark of a moon black night. Just anticipating this moment you've been. You were only waiting for this moment to be free. Ba 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 ba.